Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Hot on the Open here at MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick from the Cusick Group, securities offered by MoneyBlock. Let's talk. Let's talk about the market action that we've seen so far in the last 24 hours. Something we haven't seen in over 109 sessions, a 1% move in the major market indices. And, folks, we're challenging some levels. Taking a look at the Dow Jones right now, down 52 points. At 20,613. What's notable about this move right now is this area here. This was resistance in February. It broke. That's where it started to rally again through basically the end of February, beginning of March, and then this trend in this consolidation, and then yesterday happened. So right now, this area right here at 20,625, that is an area of support. It breaks here, you're going to see a challenge of the 50-day moving average. We've already had a break of the 20, so now those short-term bulls are under pressure. They're feeling a little bit of pain. Let's see if it gets to that midterm level. That's the 50-day moving average. A challenge here at 20,450 would be one that I'm going to watch very closely, especially if I was looking to either add or build a position in the Dow. This is the area that I want to see defended by the bulls. If it's not defended and breaks that 20,450 level, then you're going to start to see that the overall sentiment in the markets have shifted. There is a notable vote that's going to be happening on Thursday, or may not happen. That's on healthcare reform. The healthcare reform bill is now supposedly supposed to be voted on Thursday. We're going to see if that actually happens. There is quite a bit of debate. You can't turn the television on without either seeing the Supreme Court nominee or the discussion about health care. And health care reform is the cornerstone of all future reforms. This makes sense why the market's pulling back or under pressure. Taking a look at the S&P's down 0.19%, almost 2%, or 0.2% at 2339.60. Again, you're seeing now it's challenging its previous support level here at right where it's trading right now, 2340. A break here means that now you're going to look at the 50-day moving average, folks. That 50-day moving average comes in at 2330. A challenge here, again, this is the area that we were looking for. If you're either a sideline or you are looking to add to your positions on any pullback, this is the area that's going to have to hold right now if the bulls are going to continue to have control. A break here of the 50-day moving average, again, is then going to start to put a sentiment shift. And again, the vote on the healthcare reform could be a vote that could move the markets pretty dramatically in one way or the other. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, holding up much better. The tech-heavy index is trading up 7 points at 5339.70. It's challenged its 20-day moving average, and now is bumping up right against it. 20-day moving average comes in at 53.56.27. We're going to see if this rechallenges to the upside. Large cap tech is holding up, as well as biotech. That's been holding up as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Russell 2000. This is, as I said, the canary in the coal mine. This is giving you a red flag on what the perceptions are of the domestic economy. Right now, with the dollar being weak, the bonds popping to the upside, uncertainty about healthcare reform, which then is going to put a lot of uncertainty in tax reform for 2017 and potentially into 2018. And you're also talking about economic policies. What exactly is our trade policy? And again, we're seeing that all playing out. This is broken down. The small caps are under a lot of pressure right now. As a matter of fact, taking a look at this, we are at that critical support level right now that was established in early 2017 and has basically held since December, November timeframe of last year, and that's that 1343. It's now breaking that level at this very juncture. This could mean that anybody that's been in the markets or waffling around in this area could feel the pressure, especially if you have a bigger break below 1345, 1343 in the Russell 2000. Volatility is holding up. Remember, I said I was looking for a challenge at that 13 and a half level. Hasn't happened. We're up at 12 and a half, 1260 on the cash VIX. You're starting to see the VIX futures kicking up on the latter end of the curve in that almost 14 level for the April VIX futures. Dollar weakness still continuing, trading at 99.73, but off of its lowest levels that we saw in the session, but still below 100. A lot of pressure on the dollar right now. We're going to see if that continues. Crude oil API data came out last night. It was basically bearish. There was a build. I believe it was 4.5 million barrels. That was comparative to last week when the API report came out and there was a 531,000 draw. We're going to watch the EIA report that comes out at 10:30 Eastern time, see if that corroborates with what we saw with the API, which is a build. That puts more pressure on crude oil, especially since the rig counts are still popping up, and we continue to see that not only is the West Texas contract here in the United States to the downside, we're seeing pressure in the Brent crude, which is what is pumped basically in the Middle East, down 66 cents or 1.28%. And we're going to watch the headlines that are going to be coming out of OPEC over the next few weeks, months, as far as whether or not they're going to continue with the production cuts. Taking a look at the bond markets very quickly, they continue to hold up. The price action in the 2-year, the 10-year, and the 30-year are all up. The bonds were oversold. We were noting that about a week and a half ago, but they have gone through their 20, 50, and now through their 200-day moving average. We have a bond upswing, especially on the latter end of the curve, the longer end, the 10-year, 30-year. Let's watch this price action here. There's a safety trade going on, and we're going to see if that continues. All right, folks, that's it right now for... Oh, actually, wait, hold on. I do want to talk about two other areas. Healthcare. For those of you that are going to be wanting to position or potentially position in front of this healthcare reform vote, take a look at XLV. This is the healthcare ETF. It's trading down 19 cents. It broke yesterday through its 20-day moving average. So now we're in this battleground between basically 73.30 and 74.83. This is an area that if the bulls in healthcare are going to have any chance of holding, this is the area that needs to be held. Pull back here, then the next support level doesn't come in until 71. Watch this very closely. The top holdings in XLV are Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Merck. That's basically 24% of this ETF. Also on the biotech side, I mentioned this last night in Tech Talk. Take a look at IBB. IBB is trading at 288.39. This is the biotech ETF. Again, broke its 20 and its 50-day moving average yesterday. Big drop to the downside. Continues now to look at the 50-day moving average at 289.24. That's resistance now. We need to see a settlement above here. Any further weakness, which could come with either a no vote or a vote down, or in other words, an inability to pass the healthcare reform, this could put some serious pressure. Next support level on IBB is 279.59. That's the 200-day moving average. Watch that very closely. The three key largest holdings in IBB ETF is Amgen, Gilead, and BIIB. Let's see, what is it? I always forget what BIIB is. BIIB. Biogen, yep. Those are the three holdings. As a matter of fact, they represent 24% of IBB. And again, you can see that this is feeling the pressure as well. Down 9 cents today at 275, but it's been trading below its 20 and its 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average is coming in at 279.72. That is now resistance for BIIB. So that's how I'm looking at the market right now. That's how you can look at some ideas. We're going to be back talking about strategies that you could deploy at 1:30 Eastern time here at MarketStream.live. Join us.